Christian, last year you made your debut in Tampa. Obviously, different circumstances this year. Just kind of the last year you've had. How good do you feel this year compared to kind of a year ago in Tampa?
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, obviously last year wasn't the year I wanted, but I've moved on. Been moved on. Excited for this week.
What's it like going up against Vita Vea in that run defense?
It's tough, man. They bring so many challenges just with personnel and scheme. You combine them both. It's obviously tough. So definitely something we got to look at.
Christian, overcoming challenges has kind of faced this team every single week. What did the win on Thursday kind of do for the confidence moving forward, knowing that you guys can't get the job done even if you're a little undermanned?
Yeah, I think it shows a lot of our toughness, a lot of our resiliency. I think at the same time, though, man, it's how you respond after you lose is also important. How you respond after you win. And, after a game like that, it's important to get back to the drawing board, correct the mistakes, and continue to move forward and try to get another one this weekend.
Christian, I'm interested to know, youth was a big storyline headed into this season, and to have a rookie like Alfred Collins make that game-winning, punch out at the end there, how much confidence does that give the team in the youth, but then also a guy like Alfred Collins trying to make plays to find his way in the NFL?
Man, it's huge. I think, youth is often talked about in this league as a bad thing just because there's a lack of experience, but I think youth is great. It's new energy, it's fresh energy, it's guys that play fast who are hungry, and if you can get everybody dialed in mentally and up to the standard, it's an awesome thing. I think our young guys have shown so much spark, and that play that he made was one of the best I've ever seen, so definitely excited about our youth.
What was Mac Jones like in the huddle? Because the game was coming to a close, and we see the goofy side, fun side to him, but when the game's on the line like that, what's he in the huddle and going through all that?
In the huddle, I mean, he's calling plays. There's not a lot of external banter, but he was dialed in, poised, calm, collected, kept everyone calm and collected, and he was awesome.
What was Baker like as a teammate when you had to see him grow from where he was in Carolina to where he is now?
I can't say enough good things about Baker, man. I love playing with him. Was a great teammate and a great friend, and just have the utmost respect for him.
Talking about the young guys, you've had two tight ends fitting in for George Kittle, who used to be out there. How have those guys been?
And they've been incredible. They've been so on it. It's a tough position to play physically, but also mentally, and there's a lot on those guys' plates. And I would say when you lose a guy like George, it's not one guy that can step up and beat George, but it's a collective unit and a collective group, and those guys have done awesome.
Christian, you're on pace for a record, it'll be an NFL record as far as touches. Obviously, that's great. I mean, as a running back, you want to get the ball a lot. But is any part of you like, I don't know if this is sustainable?
No.
How impressive is it that Levante David still lining up against you all these years later?
Yeah, I'm sick of him, man. I'm sick of him. He's a hell of a player. Always brings a big challenge, and just somebody that has always played the game the right way, and to my opinion, doesn't ever get enough credit. So, once again, just their whole defense and guys like him. When you have a veteran like that, they spark a lot of challenges that you got to be ready for.
Christian, how tired are you or getting questions about how many touches you get per game?
Listen, I try not to get tired of anything, but I feel great for what it's worth.
Back on the field, it's been a long time, huh?
Yeah, it's a blessing for sure. So, a long process, but it's my second time going through it, and I kind of knew what to expect going forward. Different, unorthodox approach this time, but great training staff, great strength staff. They got me, back on the field. So I'm just blessed to be here. Thank God for everything, and glad to be out there with my brothers.
So know you came off a strong season last season, and you weren't able to, participate early on, but now you're able to get back, and the team is winning. They're playing well. The youth is playing well. How exciting does that make it? Like, how much more exciting does that make your return?
Oh, it's super exciting. It's definitely a different identity, I feel like, this year. Salah's been great with the defense. The young guys have stepped in, kind of setting that standard last year with the young guys, and now just seeing this group of young guys, contributing early as they have. Start with like Marquise Siegel and Michael Williams, Upton Stout, C.J. West, the list goes on. So those guys have just bought into our standard, and it's just nice to have those young guys step in at such a, young time in their career. And now I'm able to, just pick up where I left off. So just really excited to get back out there.
What's been unorthodox about this recovery?
Just, college, schedule, just maybe like having to go to class after rehab and everything, and now it's just more so just kind of focusing on, you know, different types of movements, you know, not just focusing on my knee, but just, you know, focusing on other areas of my body in totality. So I think, you know, it taught me a lot about taking care of myself and learning different parts of, you know, my body to kind of help me, you know, build that longevity going forward.
You're going to be the same confident, heat-seeking missile, so to speak, that you've been since you got here as soon as you step out there?
I mean, I didn't get surgery on my brain, so, you know, it's the same thing. So I'm just trying to pick up where I left off and, you know, keep the main thing the main thing.
Not to be too invasive, but you spoke and gave credit to your upbringing with your parents for your mentality and your mindset each time you step out there. Just wondering if either one of them gave you some type of nuggets going through this kind of time to recover from an ACL surgery before you step back out there.
I mean, I feel like my mom and my dad, you know, just kind of made sure to always keep God first. That was my main thing. You know, maybe I feel like a lot of people, you know, aren't there for me in certain situations where I'm just by myself, or I feel like I was left behind or things like that. But, you know, God was always there with me. So, you know, I just try to keep my faith number one thing, you know, whether I'm doing football, whether that stuff off the field, you know, always trying to keep that the main thing, and, you know, everything else is going to play out how it's going to play out.
Do you expect to play this Sunday?
Of course, yeah.
You feel ready?
Yeah. I've been ready.
You're a big hitter. You've always been, it seems like a big hitter since you've been here. Where did that start? Is that always the way you've played the game?
I mean, I grew up kind of, you know, being undersized, so it was just like a thing where can I separate myself, you know, just being a little kid. So just having, you know, that Mighty Mouse mentality, being a, you know, big dog, even though I might not show it physically, but mentally, that's going to give me the upper hand. So just, it wasn't different when I was in high school, it's not different in college, and it was definitely not going to change when I'm in the league. So just throughout my football career, I have to try to keep that the same motive.
How difficult were the last 5 weeks just having to be on the sideline?
I mean, it's definitely difficult, but at the same time, my brothers on this team are the ones that's keeping me up, and I just, you know, just love to see the guys go out there, go to war, and, you know, put their best foot forward. And it's just a blessing that we're 4-1, and we're just gonna keep this thing rolling.
You said you've been ready. How long have you felt that way?
Since I got surgery. Yeah.
Coming back at this point in the season, how do you prepare to
I mean, just getting back into the routine, getting back to the mix. Don't try to do anything crazy. Don't try to do the big thing too fast. You know, just take it step by step. Same thing how it was in my rehab. Not trying to do too much in a short amount of time. And now I'm getting back to the swing of things. And, you know, once I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go.
Fred, I'm curious. I know you said on the Manning cast on Monday that you were disappointed you lost those two coin tosses, but had you guys won the toss, were you guys gonna defend? Did Shanahan want you to defend?
Yeah, we would have kicked. Yeah.
What was that like going on the Manning cast? You were on there for quite a while.
Yeah, it was fun, man. Anytime you're with the Manning brothers, they keep it light, keep it fun, lighthearted. So it was fun, good time.
Last week ahead of the LA Rams game, I asked you, like, what was it that made you feel like you belonged in your rookie season? And then Alfred Collins goes out there and make the play that he made down towards the end as a rookie. How excited did that make you? Any flashbacks for you? And what'd you say to him after? That was 3 questions.
Yeah, right. Let me just say that I've had a lot of punch outs in my career, and I've never had one of that magnitude. In that kind of situation, a gotta-have-it moment on the goal line. Incredible play, one of the best plays I've seen by any player because of the play itself and then the situation. So I for sure never made close to that type of play my rookie year. He's far ahead of where I was, so the sky's the limit.
What's impressing you with Baker Mayfield in that offense right now?
Just the confidence, man, the confidence of playing the position. I mean, everybody's always talked about how great of a competitor he is, but the way that he's delivering the football, knowing exactly where it's supposed to go, the decisiveness of him throwing the football and creating the explosive plays, knowing when to check it down to his playmakers and allow them to kind of do their thing. So he's playing the position at the highest level I've seen him.
Fred, with your versatility, you go into every game just kind of with your own mindset of what you need to do specifically, you know, to help the team best win the game.
You know, I think, every week's different, but our system is what it is. It's not too complicated. Most teams know what we run. It's just about us running it to the highest ability possible. My goal every week is to try to take the ball away for my team. You know, I do have the ability to do that, regardless of the quarterback's throwing it to me or not. You know, I feel like every time I approach the ball carrier, if I can knock it loose, and that gives my team a chance to create a takeaway and help us win the game.
You guys have had success winning on the road in past years. What does it mean this year to do it with like a roster that's evolving?
I mean, it means everything. Just you look at the start of this year, it's the complete opposite of how last year went, right? We found ways to lose last year early on, and this year we're finding ways to win in those one possession games towards the end, especially on defense closing games out. I think that's been major for us and provides a lot of confidence going forward as a defense. It hasn't been pretty by any means. I feel like if we're able to play the type of defense I know we're capable of playing is when you can really start seeing us take off. But, it's just about getting better every single week.
Have you ever had a chance to talk with Levante David after the game, and what do you respect about him and his longevity?
Yeah, absolutely. We've had conversations over the years, and I put Levante and Bobby in that same world. I think obviously Bobby's been more recognized in terms of accolades, but Levante has been incredible. And you look at his numbers, his stats, takeaways, big plays. I mean, he's one of the best to ever do it, and the longevity is incredible. He's just so good, they can't get rid of him. So continues to do so this year. You saw it last week in Seattle, the biggest moment in the game, getting an interception to help their team win that game. So, much respect to Levante.
And there's a lot of season left, but how big does this game feel considering both 4-1, we're tied for the top in the NFC right now?
Yeah, these are the moments you dream of, right? Best on best in an away game. So I know they flex the game for all the reasons that we're speaking of. So it's gonna be a great challenge for us.
Greg, you talk about being legendary almost a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean to you when you go out on the field?
Nobody cares about what you've done in your past. It's all about what you do now going forward, right? No matter what we've done these last however many weeks, 5 weeks, what are you going to put on tape and what are you going to show this Sunday, 4:25 Eastern, against a really great Tampa Bay team, right? And so that's my mindset is I'm looking to prove it every single time I step on that field, and it doesn't matter what I've done. Everybody wants to see what are you going to do next. That's ultimately it.
Fred, Baker Mayfield was saying that he enjoyed looking at the Rams film because he could watch you and Stafford looking at each other and him trying to move into his eyes and you not necessarily going for it. And that made chess game. How good is Baker at that stuff?
He's great. I see it all over the tape. Him being able to manipulate defenses, especially in zone coverage or man coverage. They're plug players that may be trying to take away certain routes. The ability to pump, bringing the handoff to then try and get a guy to bite and doing those sort of things. That just shows the quarterback is in complete control of the offense and knows exactly what he's doing, right? So being able to identify coverages and manipulate those things to create the explosive plays, the big plays, he does it better, as good as anybody in this league.
Do you know of any other quarterback in the league who does a lot of shoulder shakes in the backfield?
Shoulder shakes, like just shaking guys?
He's like a wide receiver coming off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. I think that's a great comparison. The route releases back there are great. He's one of those guys where you see it over and over again, week in and week out. Guys have a tough time bringing him to the ground, and we saw it even last year when we played him in those crucial moments of the game, just finding a way to get out of those would-be sacks. And so we understand the challenge. We're going to have to bring it.
I'm just tired of everybody talking about Jake Moody. I talked to him the other day, and he's a great kicker. I messaged him the other day, and he's going to do well in this league. And he just had a bad stint here, and sometimes you just need a fresh start. And he's got my support, and he's going to do well.
Eddie, your 59-yarder might have been good from 65 or 66.
Yeah.
Did you strike it any differently than you normally strike it?
Yeah, I knew I had to hit it a little harder than I usually do. I mean, I had to drive it a little bit more. I was just grateful to get the opportunity for Coach to give me a shot. With everything that happened before I got here, I was super blessed that he gave me a shot. So.
As a kicker, what can changing teams or just being in a new system do for a guy like you or a guy like Jake Moody, I guess?
Yeah. I mean, it does a lot. Sometimes you need a fresh start. It's happened to me. I've needed fresh starts from other teams and just a new set of eyes, new set of teammates, coaches, just a restart. So
you seem like a pretty fiery guy. We've seen some of that on the field, on the sidelines. But when you're going to approach a kick.
Yeah.
Are you in your head fiery or are you calm?
No, super calm. I mean, I just know what's at stake, and sometimes I let my emotions, get the best of me. But I know what's at stake. I see these guys; they're blood, sweat, and tears on the sideline, just working their butt off. And that's what's going through my head. I need to make this for them, and they're working their butt off. So.
Kyle jokingly called you out for taking so much time on the field. Yeah. What are you doing as soon as the clock's at 0?
Yeah, that was super embarrassing. I was doing a Spanish interview with a reporter there, and I was telling him, hey, I need to go. Everybody's waiting for me in the locker room, and they didn't let me go. If it was up to me, I wouldn't have done it, but I had no choice. They told me, no, you have to do this. So that's what happened, and then I tried sprinting in the locker room, and everybody was just looking at me. It was the most embarrassing thing ever, but I'm happy he wasn't too mad at me. So.
Eddie, where does your routine start? Like in the midst of a game, are you preparing when the team gets to a certain yard line? Where is that process start?
Yeah, I would say about like the 40-yard line. I kind of start kicking some balls into the net and just mentally prepared to go in and try to do my job. So.
Kick in overtime that kissed the left upright.
Yeah.
Did you think you had it all the way, and then once you saw it, deflect in?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hit it the best, but I felt like it had a shot, and then once it French kissed the pole, I'm gonna be taking that pole to dinner soon. So, yeah.